Well, news just coming in. Sources in the Indian Army have confirmed that DGMO level talks were held at approximately 1200 hours today. That is at noon today. All relevant issues were raised in those talks. Also, Pakistan has agreed to hold flag meetings at the field levels by both the Army and the BSF to in fact diffuse the situation. My colleague Jugal Purohit is joining me live for more on this story. Jugal, we understand that the DG of the BSF, DK Pathak, just a short while ago had said that Pakistan had refused flag meetings and in fact repeated peace efforts by India had met with no avail from Pakistan. That seems to have changed now.
Absolutely, Shiva. It seems to be an extremely interesting situation where on one hand the government seems to be speaking in a different voice from the other hand. You rightly pointed out that DG is saying Pakistan has refused to adhere to their repeated calls to hold flag meetings at the field level. But the Indian Army is saying that the DGMO level talks, in which the two top bosses of military operations of the two armies speak to each other. It's been a practice for the last 6 to 7 months of speaking on every Tuesday. They've done that today, and significantly it has been discussed and decided that there will be field level meetings, flag meetings between the army formations along the LOC, but also between the BSF and the Pakistani Rangers formations along the international borders. Now this is an extremely important step, because this is where no movement was being seen for the last few days that the ceasefire violations have taken place.
Absolutely.
And one hopes that with this step perhaps there could be some peace, especially for those people who are bearing the brunt of it all, living along the border areas.
Well, absolutely. The DG BSF in fact claimed that 45 days of firing, it's something that India hasn't really seen since 1971. Gaurav Sawant, Strategic Affairs Editor, is also joining me live for more on this. Gaurav, DGMO level talks finally taking place, this after the DG of the BSF in fact coming out and saying that Pakistan has refused flag meetings. What do you make of these developments?
Well, Pakistan had sought the activation of Hotline where all issues were to be raised. And at 1200 hours today, all relevant issues both at the international border and the 770-kilometer long line of control were raised, including infiltration from Pakistani side, Pakistani terrorists waiting at launch pads to cross. Now, from what my sources are telling me, that the BSF was also waiting for the outcome and the Pakistani Rangers across the international border were waiting for the outcome of these DGMO level talks to decide the next course of action. And that is why, when DG BSF spoke to us, DK Pathak, he was talking about the situation before 12 noon, that Pakistan was unwilling to come forward for talks despite 16 attempts being made to raise them for 4 flag meetings. But now that the army has ordered the Rangers to hold talks, to hold a flag meeting, a likely flag meeting is to be held very soon. The two forces, that's the BSF and the Pakistani Rangers, will decide a time and place for the flag meeting to be held. Similar flag meeting will also be held between the two army, sector commanders at the LC. To sort out these issues at the LC and the international border.
Right, as DGMO level talks in fact have taken place, the hotline has in fact been activated. Flag meetings also likely to take place today. Jugal Purohit and Gaurav Sawant, thanks for joining us with that live report. We of course will be coming back to you for more as we continue to track developments along the line of control very closely.